for his last farewell address. Everything that needed to be said was covered in those very minutes. He spoke on civic engagement, participation of all citizens no matter where you come from, and how it is essential for all of us to work together as a nation. During the speech, Barack Obama presented his speech with class and modesty. He spoke about President Trump by saying, "I committed to President-elect Trump that my administration would ensure the smoothest possible transition, just as President Bush did for me." He also said that it's up to all of us to make sure our government can help us meet the many challenges we face. Even though Obama was not a huge fan of Mr. Trump, he still presented our new president with humbleness and respect. A shrinking world, growing inequality, demographic change, and the specter of terrorism. These forces haven't just tested our security and our prosperity, but are testing our democracy as well. And how we meet these challenges to our democracy will determine our ability to educate our kids and create good jobs and protect our homeland. In other words, it will determine our future. This is impacting because this really does influence our future. How we, as a country, manage tough circumstances defines us as a nation. It is going to take a whole nation to make a change for our future. He explained how we all need to be responsible citizens when he said all of us, regardless of party, should be throwing ourselves into the task of rebuilding our democratic institutions. But remember, none of this happens on its own. All of it depends on our participation, on each of us accepting the responsibility of citizenship. Regardless of which way the pendulum of power happens to be swinging, we all need to work effectively and contribute to our democracy for the democratic process to actually function. During his speech, he also referred Atticus Finch from the book To Kill a Mockingbird. If our democracy is to work in this increasingly diverse nation, then each one of us needs to try to heed the advice of the great character in American fiction, Atticus Finch, who said, "You never really understand a person until you consider things from his point of view, until you climb into his skin and walk around it." This is beautiful because he brought one of America's most beloved books into his speech. By bringing this quote from the book, it gave it more of a homey feel to it. It's something we can all relate to. He also talked about bubbles. Americans tend to stay in their own little bubbles of the same-minded people. We don't go out of our way to step into someone else's shoes and maybe try to comprehend their point of view. We stick with our own perspectives and believe everything that people say or post online. Every once in a while, we need to step outside our own boundaries that we create and be open to just only hear the opposing side's viewpoints. Obama praised America. We have come a long way in this journey of success. We should be proud to be Americans. He brought in civic engagement and every other point that needed to be declared. By doing so, it made this address inspirational and elegant.